So let's go ahead and get this video started. Black Ops 4, it's been the story of much of controversy lately due to its many new inclusions and exclusions of old classic content that we all know and love, such as a fucking story mode. But before I get into any of that, let me actually defend Black Ops 4 here for a moment. There's a couple things I have to defend. First of all, the Battle Royale mode seems to be the biggest talking point for this game, which, of course, Activision likes. That's pretty much free advertisement for the game. But I have to say, I know a lot of people don't like this mode's inclusion for various different reasons. All I have to say is the idea of a Battle Royale mode itself, even though I've tried H1Z1, I've tried Fortnite, I don't like the Battle Royale formula very much. Despite that, I'm okay with this. I'm willing to see what Activision and Treyarch have to give and bring to the table of Battle Royale games. I think it's going to be interesting to see the Call of Duty take on that genre. And all in all, I'm okay with that. Another thing that the game is coming out with is it's really overhauling the idea of specialists from Black Ops 3. Now, a lot of people are saying that they're kind of just following a trend here, much like with the Battle Royale thing, following hero shooters like Overwatch and Battleborn, I guess, as well as kind of following Rainbow Six Siege and what it's doing with operators is kind of what Call of Duty is now doing with specialists. Here's the thing. Call of Duty has had specialists in Black Ops 3. If you're watching gameplay of this, I'm probably either playing as Hijack or Outrider or one of the specialists that this game has. Each have their own special ability. Yeah, Black Ops 3 already had that. They're just kind of putting it on steroids in this game. And you can make the argument that they're copying other games, that they're copying Overwatch, that they're copying Rainbow Six Siege, which is personally my favorite first-person shooter from this generation. I don't see it that way. I don't see it as them copying those games. There already been Call of Duty games with that sort of system set up. Black Ops 3, I feel like they're just revamping what they have already explored in Black Ops 3. So now before I start ripping into the things I don't like about Black Ops 4, let me just tell you kind of what I personally, as a sort of longtime fan, I guess I would say, of this franchise, want from a Call of Duty game. So when I first played Call of Duty, my cousin had a boyfriend, and we were over at their house, and he had a PlayStation 2. And that's where I was introduced to, ironically enough, also a Rainbow Six, because he had Rainbow Six 3. Hilariously enough, that's just a side thing, because I know I mentioned Rainbow Six Siege earlier, and I might end up using gameplay for that game in this video. But also, he had the first Call of Duty. I believe it was Call of Duty Finest Hour. And you played the game, and you started out as this Russian private, and you did the whole do not retreat thing and everything. It was very iconic, very fun. There were tank missions. You controlled a tank. You switched to a Russian-Soviet woman. Then after that, you would switch to British, United States, all sorts of different factions. It did world hopping and gave you this grand idea of the scope of World War II. And it was a really excellent story and campaign, but that's pretty much all the game had. It was great. I liked it, but that's really all it had going for it. Then if you stayed on the PlayStation 2 for a while, like myself, you would go on to play Call of Duty 2, the Big Red One. It would have the air raid section where you're in the turrets and stuff, and I believe that one was technically developed by Treyarch as well, and Infinity Ward developed the PS3 port, or Xbox 360 port, sorry. And then when you go to Call of Duty 3, same thing. Now, Call of Duty 3, the exact same thing. It added some new mechanics into the story, like using a sort of quick time event style to have struggles with other soldiers where you have to like mash L1 and R1 real fast to like bash them with rifle butts and stuff like that. I'm surprised how well I remember this. I haven't had these games for PlayStation 2 in such a long time, like since back when the 7th generation of consoles first started, yet I'm still remembering all this. It's nuts. But the thing I always got away from those were the campaigns. it wasn't until Modern Warfare 2, like the tail end of Modern Warfare 2 and the start of Black Ops 1, that my mom got internet and I was able to play those games online. So I was playing ever since the first Call of Duty all the way up to Modern Warfare 2, essentially. I was playing campaign only, special ops if you're Infinity Ward, zombies on World at War if you had a Treyarch. And sometimes you'd play with a buddy, sometimes you'd go solo, but for the most part, the main thing was those excellent and fun set-piece driven story campaigns. Black Ops 3's campaign was okay, but for the most part, Treyarch had this really high bar that they had set for story campaigns. Call of Duty 2, The Big Red 1, had an excellent story campaign. I couldn't tell you if it was just a copy and paste PS2 graphics version of Infinity Wards or not. I don't know. I'm going only off memory. But still, that was a great one. And then World at War had a great one. Then Black Ops 1 had an excellent one. And then Black Ops 2 had a great one. And then Black Ops 3 had a decent one. But then they also kind of made up for it by having an alternate version of that campaign where they slapped a bunch of zombies in it. And that was real fun too. And it was playable in multiplayer. So they've been doing some really cool stuff with story campaigns, and to see them just kind of throw that away in favor of this Battle Royale mode is really kind of sad. A good story campaign and just traditional Black Ops gameplay, traditional for the most part. I'm actually fine with advanced movement. I actually feel it's a step up from what we've had, and they've actually innovated. There's a huge portion of the Call of Duty community that have wanted innovation for a long time and never got it. Now that we have 3 studios, they can tailcoat to the old school fans who never wanted innovation, who just wanted that classic formula, and they can tailcoat to the new fans who like the innovation, who like the new stuff, who like advanced movement. You have 3 studios and you release one of these games every fucking year. There's no reason why you couldn't do that. But alas, that doesn't seem like what Activision is going to do. It seems like they are just jumping on one bandwagon to the next, following one trend to the next. It's really upsetting. But that's basically what I want from Call of Duty, is just a fun, set-piece filled campaign with more or less traditional multiplayer. And zombies if you're Treyarch. I do like the occasional zombies map. I didn't like Black Ops 3's zombies modes, especially Shadows of Evil. I thought it was terrible. But regardless, I'm still going to give it a shot. And that's really all I wanted from Call of Duty. Call of Duty doesn't have to do anything else, but if it does, it's a bonus. In this case, it's not a bonus. Now let's get into the meat of this video. Once again, like I said prior, I'm not worried about Activision and Treyarch just kind of following trends. But here's the thing. I don't like it when it affects other elements of gameplay, when it affects stuff that we've had in the past and affects content. These developers used to only have 2 years to work on these games between Treyarch and Infinity Ward. Now they have 3 fucking years. 3 years, and we're losing content. We're losing content now. Back in the day when World at War created the first zombies mode and it took a risk with that, it was doing something new and giving us something new, but it didn't take away the story campaign to have zombies. It didn't take away multiplayer to have zombies or different game modes to have zombies. Instead, what it was doing was it was creating an experience, an additional experience. You beat the campaign, as most people would do, and you were treated to this brand spanking new mode. And it was awesome, and it was new, and it was exciting. Battle Royale could have been that, you know. Maybe they would have added it. Maybe they would have kept it a secret for a little while longer. They would have given us story trailers, given us full content, but instead they decided to chop off one of Call of Duty's limbs and stitch together some other Frankenstein abomination to it. Now, whether or not the Battle Royale mode is any good or not is not really what I'm trying to say here. What I'm trying to say is they're taking content away for the sake of giving us something new, when what they should really do is take a little more time with the game, or, you know, they have 3 years and a huge development team. Maybe there's no reason there shouldn't also be a story campaign and Battle Royale. I don't know how troubled the development for this game was, but just spitballing here, that's all I'm saying. Regardless, it's kind of shitty. Second up, and I have a few articles here from Forbes and Polygon. The Polygon article is in regards to the new season pass. And basically, it's an all or nothing sort of season pass business model now. Before, you could buy your DLC packs separately. For the most part, they still forced you to buy the multiplayer maps with zombies, which is stupid because all I ever wanted was zombies. But still, you could buy them separately at $15 a pop back in the day. And, you know, that business model worked fine for the most part. Call of Duty had such a big player base that even though the community was segmented, it was never that horrible. But it's kind of getting to a point where a couple years later, you know, certain people have certain map packs and maybe they'll only have map pack 1 and 2, so they can't play with people with no map packs, or they'll be forced to play with people with no map packs, or they can't play with the people who have multiple map packs or have all the map packs. It was a mess. Trust me, it was a mess. And I understand why they're doing it now, because they're greedy. They want to keep making money off of DLC. They want people to keep paying for zombies and to keep paying for multiplayer maps when that's not what they should do. The solution is in front of them and they can easily see it, and I'm sure they've been told it, but they don't want to pursue that solution because even though they'll gain more critical success and gain more praise from their fan base and from consumers, they'll make less money, and that is what this is all about. I'm not saying making money isn't important. If you're a business, if you're developing big budget AAA video games, you need to make money, but that's the thing. Call of Duty sells so well each and every year, they're making money. Why can't they have free maps? Titanfall 2 was almost a financial failure. It was a critical success, and it was a modest financial success. But despite being only a modest financial success, EA, of all people, of all companies, still allowed Respawn Entertainment to give away free maps and not charge people for maps. Activision doesn't want to do that. They want to charge you forever for maps. As this article implies, the season pass could be around $40. There's multiple deluxe and special editions that you can purchase, upwards of $100 or more. Kind of ridiculous. What sucks here is it's still going to be segmented, but they're charging you so much for all these multiplayer maps and for all these zombies modes and maps. Even if they're going to put all the maps under one big season pass and all the zombies maps under one big season pass, there's still better ways to do this. First of all, just sell zombies. You'll make money off of selling the zombie maps. They're not going to segregate the player base as far as multiplayer is concerned. Make all the maps free is what they should do, and then sell you zombies to make that extra buck. But they're not going to do that. Or, at the very least, sell multiplayer maps separate from zombies. But no, they want to put all their shit under one umbrella so they can maximize profits. And it's bullshit, and it's not smart, and your consumers are going to get fed up with it. And we've lost the single-player campaign, and now all this shit is happening to Call of Duty. Let me just breathe here for a moment. Okay, so, Treyarch, you used to make these amazing experiences. When Infinity Ward failed us, and when Sledgehammer Games came in and they didn't quite deliver twice, you were still able to deliver solid experiences. Not a lot of people complained about your game. Infinite Warfare is the one that received all the fucking hate and all the flack. But no, not Black Ops 3. It did mildly better than those games in terms of sales, and it had a little bit more critical praise behind it. Black Ops 2 was amazing. Black Ops 1 was amazing. I can't believe you've lost me. And I'm just going to straight up say it. You've lost me, Treyarch. I stopped buying Call of Duty a long time ago, for the most part. I was feeling the fatigue around the time Black Ops 2 came out, but I still bought Black Ops 2 and played it, loved it, and enjoyed it. But then Ghosts came out, didn't buy that. Advanced Warfare came out, didn't buy that. But I knew I could depend on Treyarch. So when Black Ops 3 came out, I bought it, and it delivered, and I liked it. Then World War II happened, and Infinite Warfare happened, and now Black Ops 4 happened. And I was sitting here thinking, you know, Black Ops 4 is going to be coming out. I'm finally excited for Call of Duty again because Treyarch's at the helm, and you screwed me. I don't know, Treyarch. I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry that I'm not going to be buying your next game. And I'm sorry you didn't deliver what I wanted. I know that that's not your fault. I'm not entitled by any means. You do not have to cater to me. If Battle Royale works out for you, congratulations. But I want you to know you've lost me and you've lost everybody else. Call of Duty kind of already lost me. It was just you. You were the only ones holding me into it. The only ones making me think, Treyarch's new Call of Duty game's coming out. I should give it a shot. And now you've lost me. I'm sorry for talking about Call of Duty on this channel. I know I don't do it very often. I normally talk about things like Resident Evil and Devil May Cry, play the occasional indie game, do the occasional random Let's Play, some Capcom news mostly. But I really kind of wanted to just address my feelings on this, even if it was sort of unstructured and more of a rant than anything. But regardless, I wanted to talk about Black Ops 4 and how it made me feel and how it upset me and what I want from Call of Duty. Even though I don't feel like I should be catered to, it just sucks when a franchise is known for one thing and is good at delivering this certain type of experience, and then they just stop delivering it, especially when it's for corporate greed and they just want to cash in on a popular trend. Anyways, this is an Evil Resident. Thank you guys for watching. Please be sure to like, subscribe, and comment and tell me your thoughts on Black Ops 4. Are you going to be picking it up? I'm not going to say no. I'm not going to be like, no, you shouldn't pick it up. You shouldn't support this game. It's not Konami. They're doing something new. I don't know. We'll see. Evil Resident, out.